So in order to create an NextJS app, what you have to do is in your terminal, just write npx create next app at the latest. So it will install the latest version and it will start installing the NextJS app. You can name your app whatever you want. Next demo. Yes, I would like to use TypeScript. Yes, linting. Don't want to use src. App router, yes. New alias. Okay, so now it will start installing all the dependency needed for my Next.js app. So once your Next.js app is created, what you could do is you could cd to that directory. So I would like cd next demo, and I would start my server. So what it will do is it would spin up port 3000 for my Next.js app. I would reload this. We'll start compiling. So as you can see now, you have successfully created a Next.js app. Moving on to the folder structure. Okay, we have app. Any folder inside this app will be a route. Let me show you. So we'll create a folder and you could name anything like user, create a page inside it. What you could do is you could default export it, right? SFC. So it would default export your app and you could name anything, user page, and you could return anything. And once you will go to this page, whatever says hi, the message you have written here. Okay, so what else we have here is fav icon. Whatever icon is here will be displayed in your tab bar. Then we have global CSS file. Then we have layout. Whatever content is inside the layout will be provided to all of your pages. And we have the home directory. So if we go to /3000, it would render this. Let me show you. Just remove all of these things. And what I would do is we would create a div h1. Oh, will compile, and as you can see, you have home here. Then you have a node modules for your npm package. Public have some svgs, nothing to worry about. Or .es linting for your debugging and stuff. Git ignore, always add .env in your git ignore because by default they add .env.local. So that will not hide your just .env file. So you must add .env by yourself. Okay, so if you are using it, see now this is being untracked. You have next config. You could add your different config for your application. For example, if you want to use an image from a different URL, you have to specify here that I'm allowing that domain to be accessed by my app. So you have to add all these things here. Then we have same old package JSON file. We have dependencies and log JSONs. It has dependency. So we have post CSS config. We have Tailwind. I'm using Tailwind here. We have a README file, basic README file, and Tailwind and TypeScript config file. As in Next.js, we use folder structure for our routing. So we have different methods of routing. For example, if you want to go to /user / a dynamic ID, what you could do is here is you could create a new folder and you would write ID like this. And you could create a new page inside it. Let's say page.tsx. You should always name your page as page.tsx. And you could say user ID page. We'll create a div inside it, say user ID. And now if you go to /1 2 okay, /user /123, you'll see user ID. If you go to any other ID as well, you want to same page will have. And you could access this ID by writing your params. And also you need to mention the type of params. So I would create an interface, uh, param props, b params. It's an object, so it would have a what we have named here is ID, I guess. Yeah, it's ID. It would have a ID and it would be of type string. Now I will pass this param here and I could render this instead of user ID params dot. So now you can see it's 12. And if I go to any other random ID, so it would be printed here. Other than dynamic routing, you could also create a group routes. What I mean by that is you could create a group, let's say auth routes. So it would only consist the route for authentication. Could create a sign in and you could create a new file again, page.tsx, export it, and you could return it. What this slug will do is it will not add any name to your route. It will directly start with slash sign in. Let me show you. See, it doesn't added any auth in front of it. Why we have to do this? Because it add more readability to your code and you can also create separate layouts for your pages. So a layout is basically it's a blueprint, or you could say a provider, which whatever you write here will be provided to all of your apps. Let me show you. You could create a H1 layout. So this message will be printed in each and every page. For example, it's here. You could go back to your home directory. You could see it's here as well. And you could also go to the user page. It's here as well. So you can see whatever you write here or whatever you render here will be rendered to each and every pages. So it is very useful if you have a similar component or some sort of provider which you want to give access to all of your pages. You could also create a separate layout for different pages. For example, I could create a layout for user pages. What I would do here is I would create a new file, name it as a layout.tsx, and I would create a layout for this. What I would say is user layout, and I would give it a children, a div, and I would say user layout. Then I would render my children, the page children, sorry. Okay, you have to give it type as well, otherwise it will yell at you. So give it a type as children, React dot React node. That's a node of React, and as you can see, you have a user layout after the main layout. This is the main layout, then you have the user layout, and this layout will be only accessed by the user and the page inside it. So if I go to 123, you could see user layout is still here, but if I go to the main page, see it's not here. That's how layout works. In your main layout file, you could see this metadata. What you could do here is you could change the name of your app to anything which you like. I would say next demo and give it a description, anything which you like. So you would see here there is a change in the name of the page. It's next demo now. And you could also do it for each page. You could copy this and you could go to your uh, user page. This is user ID page. Okay. So you could go here and paste that. This exported would be user ID. And if you go to this page, you will see a change in the name. See, it's user ID now. So by this, you could create a dynamic or you could create a name for your web pages.